we're currently standing right here outside of the Las Vegas City Hall. I'm standing with a few individuals who are representing and standing up for their right to protest. We have Dex over here, we have Kelly, and we have Shyla McCall, who has agreed to speak with us. Shyla, first of all, your sign says, "Hands up, man down." Can you tell me the importance of that phrase to you?
The importance of this phrase is that many of our kin, many of our parents, many of our brothers and sisters, our cousins, all of our black people are getting killed. They're innocent people. They don't deserve the treatment that they are receiving. That is the reason I'm holding this sign.
Now, this is an interesting protest because it doesn't seem like anyone from Black Lives Matters organized it. It seems like it was organized by Metro. Do you guys know anything about this?
I'm actually not sure of the origin of who created this protest. I just know that these things are being spread through social media, and that's the importance of spreading through social media, is that once one person gets a hold of something like this, we're able to share it with each other. I found out through Instagram. Somebody sent it to my friend through Instagram. We're just spreading the word and making sure that we're all out here supporting each other and taking responsibility and showing that we care.
Now, a second ago, someone just posed a question to Metro. They were asking questions about why aren't you doing the right tactics to mitigate a crowd? You're putting up these barriers, you're getting people started, you're instigating. He responded back by saying along the lines of, we are doing our best, we're constantly adapting, and we're open to change to the community. How do those words make you feel?
It's interesting. I think, in my opinion, what's really important is that we have the support from everybody, including the people that are standing with us. It would really make a difference if law enforcement was with us and it didn't seem like they were against us. It's not really about building barriers. It's about taking those barriers down and helping us solve this issue that we are facing.
Now, you can understand why Metro might be hurting with one of their officers being shot 2 nights ago. Does that affect your protest in any way, or maybe your thoughts coming into tonight's march?
Absolutely. It affects me because sometimes it's scary coming into these things, knowing that there's people here that are not here for the right reason. The reason we are here is to help support, to show that we care, to be peaceful about it, to make sure that we're making a point that we need to be together safely, not in a violent way. That is not the point of any of this. I'm sorry that anybody is losing their lives that shouldn't be losing their lives, our people and law enforcement. That's not what we want at all.
Now, my last question is, the African American community is getting a lot of blame for looting. They're getting blamed for tagging, for destroying police vehicles, but we're finding in a lot of videos on social media that it's not African American.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not the case. It's I feel like it's oftentimes people who are not involved with the movement or people who don't quite understand the movement that are coming in and they're taking their matters into their own hands, and they're using our message and they're trying to misconstrue it and make it about them or make it about how they feel or some of the trauma that they've experienced. And maybe that's the only way that they think that their message can be portrayed, but it's not necessarily the message that we're trying to convey. So I feel like the people who are getting involved in looting and the vandalism and everything, we actually came out here, we brought trash bags with us that we have in our purses so that we could help clean up the area if the area was looted or was dirty or had been trashed by anybody else who had been here before us, because that's not our message. I think Black Lives Matter, anybody who stands with Black Lives Matter, we're not here for that. So I think that whoever was doing that, they've got the wrong message. It wasn't us.
So I've been a resident for 7 years. I live downtown at the Jewel. I've been a resident there since I've been here.
Now, you've been to all the protests each night, is that correct?
Yes.
What's the biggest difference from this protest you're at today compared to the ones in the past few nights?
This one feels a lot safer. There are people walking amongst us that are fully in combat gear. They have guns. They are fully armed. They have their ears covered. You don't know if they're police or if you don't know who they are. And they are walking differently. They are having a different energy than what we have. They're moving differently than what we have. And you can tell that they're not part of the group. And they tend to come out at nighttime when no one can see them, and they try to blend in with the crowd. We've been having peaceful protests throughout the day, almost every day that I've been out here. I have not broken any windows. I have not spat at the police. I have not thrown anything. I have been respectful even though my oppressor does not respect me. And as a black man, being a part of this community, donating my time and services, volunteering at the soup kitchen, because that's what good people do. They give back to their community. To be gassed and shot at is just a slap in the face. And for them to come out here and not answer any questions is also a slap to the face. Because for all the people that have protested here and have been doing the right thing, all the people that have been driving by, honking their horns, raising their fist out the window, supporting us, this is for them, because we have to tell the correct story on what's happening.
So I want to go back a little bit to those individuals you were talking about who are coming out, they're walking different, they have these weapons, they're wearing these earpieces. Who do you think they are, or who do you think they're with?
Sir, I can't make any accusations. I'm only a peaceful protester. That's not my job to do. That is the police job to do, is to protect and serve. It doesn't matter if we are out here peacefully protesting. They should have somebody fanning crowds, removing these dangerous people, protecting the city of Las Vegas. We are just out here fighting for our rights. We are trying to hold peaceful cleanups for all the destruction that has happened. Like I said, man, I work downtown. All my stores are downtown. I live and breathe downtown. And what's happening right now, the disservice to the citizens is just unjust.
Now, one of those citizens was the Metro officer who was shot 2 nights ago.
That is correct.
Has that impacted your thought coming into these protests?
Listen, I never preach hate. I preach love. And I never want anyone to get hurt. And first of all, my prayers and thoughts go out to that officer and his family. It is very unfortunate that, those incidents did occur, but our president is out here preaching forms of hate. Our police are being super aggressive with peaceful protesters. I just wish that we didn't have to go through tragedies to come together.
If this protest is to grow and maybe some of those instigators were to show up and were to start causing a ruckus, what would be your first thought or maybe your first action?
Hopefully we won't have to get to that point. As you can see behind me, everything is completely calm and peaceful. If there was to be a situation where there are those who had bad intentions and intended on coming in and looting and causing chaos, I suppose that we could come together and try to diminish most of that chaos. But for the most part, we're just trying to stay away from that, and we can only hope that that will not happen. Otherwise, we could just walk away. But I just want you guys to know that that's not what we're here for, so please don't bring that this way.
And I would hope that whoever's coming to instigate, that they can do that on their own and get in trouble for their own message that they're creating, and that anybody who's not involved in that will leave and will say, this is not the message, this is not what we're here for, and just walk away from it, because the people who are ultimately left will be the people that are caught on camera and the people that are blamed for these things.
Thank you so much for speaking with us today. It means the world to us. Reporting for KNPR News, I'm Zachary Green.